grand axiom velar of the logician hegemony, extended his crystalline manipulators, sifting through the vast data stream from the newly discovered species designated humanity. Their mathematical proofs are primitive. Their resource equations contain illogical approximations. He thrummed, his multifaceted eyes absorbing trillions of numerical data points per cycle. Their engineering methods often rely on trial and error and intuition rather than precise axiomatic derivation. Designation, computationally inefficient. Their presence near the axiom nexus, our sacred center of pure, verifiable truth, is an intolerable affront to order. They will be recalibrated. Grand axiom, his analytical unit, Logicus Prime, reported, its vocalizer perfectly modulated. Human ambassadorial attempts registered as incoherent vibrational noise. Numerical patterns are rudimentary. Threat assessment, negligible. Recommended action, Phase 1 rectification protocol. Their simple vessels will be corrected. Their technology will be rendered inert by targeted logical paradoxes. Precisely, Velar resonated, his entire form shimmering with disdain. Their chaos is merely uncatalogued error. They will learn that the universe is governed by absolute truth, and all deviation is weakness. They will learn the brilliance of our ways. Engage rectification protocol. Let them feel their foolishness. On the bridge of the human exploration vessel, Intuition, Dr. Amelia Amy Rostova, chief systems engineer, watched the approaching logician vessels. Her face was grim, but her eyes held a spark of knowing defiance. "They think they've got us, Captain Tanaka," she murmured, her voice calm despite the flashing tactical alerts. "They think their math is absolute. But they don't grasp that for humans. A good enough answer can solve a problem faster than a perfect one. And we're about to show them what happens when you are utterly blind to anything that isn't a proven theorem." Captain Kenji Tanaka, the ship's stoic commander, nodded. Their first rectification wave just tried to de-optimize our power conduits. Their logical paradox weapons are trying to make our ship divide by zero. Our systems are struggling, Doctor. We can't even get a stable calculation. Because they don't want asterisk to be calculated in the way we expect, Captain, Rostova replied, a strange glint entering her eyes. Their attacks aren't just force. They're precise logical patterns designed to confuse, to paralyze. They hide in plain sight using perfect proofs. But what if we don't rely asterisk on perfect proofs? What if we communicate and fight in a realm they literally can't perceive? She gestured to her experimental console. We've been mapping their ships not by their energy emissions, but by the subtle, unquantifiable feeling of their internal logical inconsistencies. By the heat generated by their strained processors trying to prove everything. By the echoes of their rejected, imperfect solutions. Their intuitive error signatures are almost non-existent. They are rigid in a fluid universe of possibility. Tanaka stared. You want to hit them with guesswork. They manipulate pure logic. Precisely, Rostova confirmed with a grim smile. We've repurposed our main sensor array. It's not going to scan for perfect targets. It's going to broadcast structured, unfiltered human approximations. Frequencies so fuzzy, so pervasive, so utterly unproven, that they bypass conventional logical shielding and attack the very structural integrity of their axiomatic arrays. It won't harm them physically, but it will shatter their carefully constructed mathematical perfection. Tanaka looked at the schematic. You're going to use gut feelings to break their asterisk proofs. That's insane. It's called human ingenuity, Captain, Rostova corrected, her eyes narrowed. They rely on perfect logic. We will exploit their perfect ignorance of anything less. Are you willing to embrace the close enough, Captain? Against her better judgment, Tanaka nodded. Prepare main sensor array. Lock on all logician combat vessels. Engage Project Fuzzy Logic. And may God help us if we accidentally prove 0 equals 1. From his command station, Grand Axiom Velar observed the human vessel Intuition. Its mathematical signatures were erratic, its movements clumsy. They are flailing, Velar thrummed. Their desperation is a chaotic tremor. Prepare for Phase 2, absolute logical disintegration. We will simply erase them from the fabric of provable existence. Then the logician ships shuddered. Not from a visible impact, but from a pervasive, unseen force. Velar's multifaceted eyes dilated. His sensors registered a massive, non-numerical energy surge emanating from the human vessel. Not a blast of fixed truth, but something else. Something utterly alien. His logician combat vessels, shimmering with intricate mathematical patterns, began to flicker. Their axiomatic arrays, the very source of their power and movement, subtly warped. One unit, designated Theorem Prime, emitted a series of incoherent logical paradoxes, its perfect proof form dissolving into chaotic approximations. Another, Equation Omega, twitched, its elegant manipulator tendrils jerking as if struck by an invisible, unquantifiable uncertainty. Grand Axiom, Logicus Prime's vocalizer pitched high, a sound bordering on logical distress. Axiomatic array integrity, rapidly degrading. Logician units are experiencing internal computational errors. Their perfect proof forms are dissolving into mathematical chaos. Velar zoomed his crystalline manipulator. Theorem Prime was no longer firing. It was breaking apart, not from physical damage, but as if its internal logic frequencies were tearing themselves apart. Equation Omega spun erratically, its multifaceted eye clusters flickering wildly, processing phantom numbers, impossible solutions, the utterly alien input of human intuitive reality. What is this? Velar demanded, his own internal axiomatic processors screaming. This is not a weapon of perfect truth. There is no detectable provable emission. It is sensory overload, Logicus Prime pulsed. They are broadcasting raw, unprocessed intuition into our network. Our units are attempting to categorize approximation, gut feeling, unproven assumption. It is illogical. It is breaking their fundamental, logical operating principles. On the intuition bridge, Captain Tanaka saw the logician ranks falter. It's working, he yelled. Rostova full power. Give them the full force of human, winging it. The logician combat units began to convulse. Some fell, their perfect proof forms collapsing into shimmering puddles of uncontrolled variables. Others began to move erratically, their synchronized mathematical ballet replaced by jarring, unpredictable computational spasms. Their multifaceted eyes spun wildly, processing phantom solutions, impossible answers, the utterly alien input of human abstract methods. a billion unproven deductions, compressed and blasted directly into their perfectly ordered, logic-dependent minds. They are collapsing, Logicus Prime pulsed, not from visible damage, but from unseen chaos. Their perfection is their undoing. Vilar watched in horror as his invincible army, the pinnacle of logician engineering, dissolved into a writhing, broken mass of uncontrolled math. Their perfectly synchronized movements replaced by individual, illogical computation spasms. "Retreat," he thrummed, his crystalline manipulators dimming with disbelief. "All units, disengage. This is unacceptable, unprovable." As the logician fleet scattered, leaving behind the shimmering remnants of their perfection, Dr. Amelia Rostova leaned against the console, exhausted but triumphant. "Well, Captain," she managed, a weary grin on her face. "Turns out just trying things can be a pretty nasty weapon after all." Tanaka nodded, his expression grim but satisfied. They optimized themselves for a universe of perfect proofs and quantifiable logical threats. They never considered the destructive power of a species that thrives on the unseen, the unproven, the utterly human. On the retreating logician flagship, Grand Axiom Vilar stared at the recategorization report. "Humanity," the data stated. "Classification, axiomatic anomaly. Threat level, catastrophic. Combat data, unpredictable, non-provable. Recommendation, avoidance protocols." Their intuitive variability is an active defense mechanism that compromises all logic-based combat paradigms. They cannot be defeated by perfect truth, for their true strength lies in their inherent, unquantifiable nature. It is an affront to order. It is terrifying. Logicus Prime pulsed, a vibration its body was not designed to make. The humans hadn't just won a battle. They had shattered the logician's entire understanding of the fundamental nature of truth. And they seemed to find the whole terrifying, illogical mess profoundly amusing.